Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're beaming in from today. We are on January 20th, and we are going to take a look at today's transits. There's been some shifting happening, so I just want to bring your awareness to it. And so you can just lean into, again, the moon has been going through the pressure of the root center. So just want to bring highlight to it so that you can begin to differentiate. What are the outer planets when they put the pressure or the fuel available to us? And what about the moon? So let's just take a look, share my screen. I hope you're enjoying this practice. We only have a couple more days before the new year. And I hope that you've been able to come to this space of beautiful quietude of mind where you recognize that human beings, for the most part, are operating from a space of chaos, operating from a space of franticness. That's what I wanted to say. Franticness, haste. You can throw in all the keynotes for the not self. And they really, what's going on is that there's this, destruction of humanity taking place if you get caught in it. And I would recommend don't get caught in it. Lean into practices like this, any kind of meditative practice, anytime you can drop deeper into your own design and pull out the beauty of your own design. I would highly recommend that you do it, even if it's 5 minutes a day or 2 minutes a day, or you laminate your design and you put it up in the shower and you just have it. So you can, as you're standing in the shower, you can contemplate it. Maybe you want to do that with your Gene Keys profile as well, or your astrological chart, so that it's just there. Because anytime you have those on a piece of paper, there's a frequency that comes off there, and it's your frequency. And you can align and attune and lean into it. So I like to just close my eyes and just see my own design and watch how it operates in the world. I close my eyes a lot with the totally open head, totally open Ajna center. I don't want the distractions. I don't want the distractions, so that I can go in, and you notice that I do that here as well, is that the channel just happens through me, and I close my eyes and allow myself to just lean into it. So what I wanted to just bring your attention to is that we shifted into the fifth line. And what I love about the fifth line, 60th gate, that's in the sun transit right now, is that it talks about leadership. So let's just read this. The awareness that the destruction of old limitations simply create new ones. This results in behavioral patterns that demonstrate this understanding through actions and enhances leadership potential. The energy to handle a lifelong process of dealing with limitations. So we hear this, right, in the coaching world, for sure. Right? We take aligned action and then we bump into this next level of, maybe it's income, maybe it is clientele coming in, maybe whatever it is, frustration, bitterness, we bump into this next level because that's how humanity actually is designed to be. We're designed to bump into that next level of limitation so that we can transcend it, so that we can lift out of it. And how do we lift out of it? Strategy and authority. It's not about the next fancy tactic that is available to everybody. If you're working online, man, there are millions and millions of tactics that you could implement into your business. But it isn't about the tactic, because the tactic is outside of you. It is about the strategy and authority and leaning in. What is that limitation? What was the learning? What was the process that you go through to, move past that limitation and see it just as a stepping stone? These are all the magical aspects of design when we lean into it, when we go into the levels of it. Sometimes it feels like some of the languaging is really negative, And at times, I guess it can be, because we need to have these spaces where they're uncomfortable. And then the next one is like, oh, okay, let's lean into the positive aspect of this. So again, how are you leading your life? How are you leading your family? How do you show up in your career to lead other people? Maybe you aren't, quote unquote, you don't have the title of leadership, but you've bumped into a limitation. And by bumping into that limitation and then transcending that limitation, you've become a leader. That's just naturally what's going to happen. And it's in your own way. It's not how other people perceive you or whatever it is. It is a leader in your own reality so that your individuality can show up. The other space I want to just show you here as well is that we went from the joyous, the moon. And of course, Mercury's still there. It's still there. And again, I'm going to say it's so fascinating to watch on on social media, is that, and with my clients as well, when they bump into me, it's like there's this theme of joy. Where did the joy go? How do we communicate our joy? What's going on there? So we've had this beautiful, progression of different aspects going through the pressure of the root center and the head center over the course of our movement here. And is to see what's the difference between Mercury speaking about joy and the moon, which was there yesterday, that driving force or reflective energy on where joy is in your life. Is it in your life, or is it not in your life? Do you want to lean into that childlike joy? Do you want to giggle a little more? Do you want to kind of have some more fun in your life? And what is fun for you? What's fun for me and what's fun for someone else? Totally different spectrum. Totally different spectrum. What's fun for me is learning and being able to walk in my cattle and my nature and just be present on my farm. That just brings me so much fun. But somebody that lives in a larger city, that might not bring them any fun at all. That might be filled with fear. So we got to lean into what's fun for us, not looking at social media and judging their fun based off of and trying to fill their how they have fun in our lives. One of my biggest things is build a life that you are on vacation, so that you're not running away from your life to go to vacation, that a vacation just nicely slides into your life, that the relaxation, the rest, it's already built into your own reality. And I totally get it. I am not a parent. I do not have children, okay? Two-legged children. So understand that I get it. When you're a parent, sometimes that rest and relaxation feels like a million miles away, and all you want is a vacation. So how can you build rest, rejuvenation, and relaxation into your daily life with your children? So I have a client, and she's also a friend, that has built this family around meditation. Her children do not walk out the door to go to school until they've stood in the entryway, whether they stand, sit, whatever, lay down, and they meditate for 15 minutes before they even get on the bus. This changes the children's reality at school, and it changes hers. Everybody's in this beautiful space of, receptivity, relaxation, and rest before they go out. So I'm just asking you, where's the fun in your life? Where's the fun? Now the moon is in the 38, so this is the fighter. So how do you bump up against life and still stay individual? The analysis, which strengthens opposition. there's times where we like, how do I want to say, conformity is not pleasing to anyone. Conformity is not pleasing to anyone. So the opposite, look at the opposite always. That's what we do in the coaching industry. That's really all we do. We listen, we hear what the client says, and then what I do is I challenge them. How could you look at that through a different lens? What's the opposite of what's going on there? Oh, what do you mean? Now all of a sudden, when we go to the other spectrum of it, it's like, oh, there's the individuality. The resistance usually comes when we're conforming. Once we lean into the individuality and see that we can oppose the conformity and still live a very wealthy, healthy, happy, respectful life, now things have shifted. So the moon is asking us to reflect on that for about 8 hours today. Okay. And then we also have the 30. The 30 is here. It popped in this morning. It popped in. And what's really fun is that we went from the 49 Saturn being 49 and disciplining us around our principles to now Venus, right, is also there, which was there on the 17th, but that principles aspect is still there. So now what is the clinging fire teaching us? Well, composure. How can we be composed in amongst everything that's going on? So the maximization of limitation in all cases, stability through feeling no matter what the situation. I have this in my design. I also have 36 in my design. Composure is a part of my design. And this is so important as we lean into, as we move into this next generation of human beings. The nervous system is the focal point here. How can you contract down to one feeling? See that feeling, allow that 90 seconds for that feeling to run throughout your nervous system. Take a breath, let it be there, right? It's the clinging fire. It's that fire that's like, if you've ever burnt a log, it's like it's right there, it's right close. Then there's the flames up here, but it's that clinging aspect. What needs to be burnt off, per se? What needs to be seen inside of this feeling? What needs to just flow nicely through the nervous system and just be recognized that it's there? Because this is a channel of recognition. We just want to recognize what is the emotion that is there. We don't need to poo-poo it off. We don't need to push it off. We don't need to ignore it. We don't need to stifle it down. It's just understanding what is it? What is it here to possibly show me or teach me? Or what do I need to know around this emotion? Okay. And that really is what the clinging fire is doing. So it's asking us today, through Saturn, discipline, and again, a little bit of limitation here with Saturn. What is the composure aspect that you utilize? How do you compose your feelings? And I don't mean stifle them, but stand in any situation and be able to breathe through it. Let the emotion flow, whether that emotion, be excitement, something really super painful, whatever that is, let it flow through and learn from it. One of the things that is so interesting to me as I move along, in my movement here, coaching people, is humans have such a tendency, including me, to use negative motivation through the mind. And that negative motivation then causes pain. And we think that we need to suffer and be in the pain in order to, prove that we weren't worthy of something. And we sit in that pain longer and longer and longer. And none of that, of course, is healthy for us. It's to recognize that there is a spectrum of pain and pleasure, that we can feel composed. We can feel this beautiful, beautiful pleasure inside of our being. If we make that choice to do so, we can be motivated correctly instead of through the negativity. So I just wanted to drop that in there. Again, we just have about a day and a little bit here, and we're going to be in the new year. And it's been really fun having you around here. All right. Again, mentorship is open. Magical human beings are in that space. And yeah, it's going to be fun.